What's going on, everyone? It's Marcellus back with another video. We got to talk about Terra Luna Classic. We got some very exciting news coming up very soon for us. So we're going to talk about what's coming up inside the next week with Terra Luna Classic and what you could expect. So definitely hit the like button and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you all want me to go over next. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. If you want to know where to buy Terra Luna Classic, check out the MEXC Global link inside of the description and definitely go ahead and sign up there. I use MEXC Global for trading myself on Terra Luna Classic, and I'll actually go over some of the trades that I previously made to make a little bit of money. And I'll probably end up doing a live stream soon for Terra and for Baby Doge as well. And without further ado, let's get straight to it. So let's talk about this. So we have a lot to talk about with Terra Luna Classic. Now, the first thing I really do want to mention here, you have to have your exit points. You have to know exactly when you're going to get in, when you're going to get out. So let's talk about this. Now, the first thing that we want to talk about is the burn. So we already know we're going to be getting some huge burn. So 1.2% tax burn expected sometime around September 20th. So let's go over this. So on Friday, Binance announced that it would launch Luna Classic futures with up to 25x, blah, 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 blah. And then over here, furthermore, Binance has announced its support for the 1.2% tax for Luna Classic and USTC. And if you want that confirmation, I guess you can come over here. But it's expected to go live, they say, on September 20th. So that's what we're going to be talking about. So the Terra community has passed proposals 3568 and 4159, which will introduce a 1.2% tax burn for on-chain transactions of LUNC and USTC on Terra Classic Network. And Binance will review and amend the minimum withdrawal. So they have mentioned that they're only going to do it for, going in and out, the receiving and the sending out. So the withdrawal deposits, that's pretty much what they mentioned here. So you can see that over here. However, it is worth mentioning that spot and margin trading will not be affected, and it will really only be valid for deposits and withdrawing. So it may not do what people want it to, it may not do exactly what you want it to do, but it's still going to do its job. And not to mention stuff like MEXC Global, link in the description. I use MEXC Global. A lot of people do. KuCoin. You can actually go to these and you're going to have that 1.2% burn implemented for your trades. So let's talk some more about the burns as well. So we're burning a lot of Luna Classic. If we continue to burn at this pace, it's going to end up literally being almost no Luna Classic. And at first I was a little off the fences about Luna Classic, but now that I'm looking at it, I definitely see it has some huge potential. And I'm not going to lie, I'm in on it now. I was a little bit careful. So in my first video of Luna Classic, you see I was like, be careful, but you should still be careful. You got to remember how much we've already went up here inside of Luna Classic in the last, not even 90 days. Just look at the last 30 days. But then if you think about the last 90 days, a lot of people have profits that they have not realized yet. And when they realize those profits, which is what they're doing now actively, that's why we're seeing these drops, because people are realizing their profits now. They're taking them in and they're selling. And there's no doubt who would not sell. I would sell some as well. And that's exactly what a lot of people are doing. But let's keep talking about this. So over here, you can see where they say the 1.2% tax burn is going to be expected between September 20th and now. So let's think about this. Buy the rumor, sell the news. It's so far a rumor that it's going to be September 20th. It's going to be somewhere around there, September 20th, maybe. It's a rumor. So people are going to, it's not necessarily a rumor. We know it's going to happen, but is it going to be on the 20th or is it going to be postponed? Nobody knows. So what we do know, though, inside this next week, leading up to the 20th, because look, it's the 11th right now and it is Sunday. So by Friday of this upcoming week is going to be the 16th and then the 20th for that next week. So all this week that we're leading up to that September 20th area, we're going to have massive fluctuations in the price, whether it's gains on the upside or, drops on the downside. But I will say this one thing. If you're trading during these volatile times, you could either lose a lot of money or gain a lot of money. Personally, I'm probably going to do a swing trades with this, and I'll explain a trade that I did earlier today, which didn't, well, actually, yeah, it did go in my favor, but not at first. So at first, I bought Luna Classic somewhere around it was around 423 or something like that, 42352, something like that. And then I ended up, actually, no, it was around 42254, somewhere around there. But anyways, I ended up selling it all the way up here after we just now got this pump. And that's why I'm making this video now, because I kind of see what's going to happen. As we pull back down here again to this high activity area, just like how we did before, that's probably where we're going to get this next jump. So I'm like, look, I'm just going to wait till we pull back here again, since I kind of already bought here and then I ran it up to here and I held strong. I was not going to sell until I see those profits. And then finally, boom, it actually went all the way up there. And now, pretty much what I'm planning on doing here with Luna Classic is waiting it until it hits around 4150 or the 40 area. We have high activity for institutional investors and we have high activity for those dark pools. And something that you want to think about here, when the volume is really low, the institutional investors, the big whales, that's when they like to strike, when the volume is low. And we see it time and time again. Every time we get low volume here, you can see the volume gets lower here on the oscillator, and then boom, they strike, they buy in. You can see the same thing happen back here. The volume started to get way lower, it was a lot of selling, and then boom, they strike. And they do this every single time. So I'm gonna let the volume go down a little bit. I'm gonna let the selling continue, and I'm gonna wait until somewhere around here, 4-1 or something like that. Maybe we don't even get that low. So I'm not even saying we're 100% gonna do it. But what I am seeing here on the oscillator is we are on the downside here. We're getting some selling coming in with this volume. A little bit of buying volume is coming back in. And if you want to go ahead and look at the 1 minute chart, which is super short term, then you can end up seeing that we actually just now hit a little support. So we should be bouncing back up here to about 426 or somewhere around there, possibly even back up to 43, or just going straight back down to where we have higher activity, which is down here around 415. So that's what we're looking at here for Luna Classic for the short term. Honestly, long term, nobody can tell you. But let's go over to the 15M chart, the 15-minute chart, though, because it's a little bit different. Now, you're seeing we came off this overbought area here, but the selling never really fully picked up whenever you look at it from the 15-minute chart perspective. It never really fully picked up. So, like I said, pulling back here to where we have more demand, this whole green area is supply and demand of more demand. We have so much demand back here that when we get back here, we may go a little bit into the green area, maybe to like 4,100, or maybe over here at 4,500, somewhere around there. Not 4,500, but 4,0500, somewhere around there. And then that's really where I'm looking to get in. But I'm probably going to end up just jumping in at 41 just because. But anyways, like I said, if you want to do short-term trades or long-term trades, it's all up to you whether you want those short-term trades or long-term ones. Me personally, I'll do some short-term trades here and there. But right now, what I'm really looking at doing is probably holding until about the 17th or 18th. Because when you hold till the 17th, 18th, remember, the 20th is going to be that burn. So when we get that burn on the 20th, you really want to be ready for that. But you just have to look at it from this perspective. And it's not like one burn, obviously. It's the 1.2% burn that's going to be applied to everything. But when you think about it like this, as you're going up to there, buy the rumor, sell the news. So people are going to be buying all the way up leading to the 20th. So what you really want to do is wait until like the 18th or 19th. That's probably where we're going to, kind of slow down and consolidate. And then on the 20th, we're going to know what happens. Some people will be pleased. Some people will be displeased with what happens on the 20th. And if too many people are not pleased, then you're going to see the price drop when it hits the 20th. But if everyone's pleased, which means if Binance does the actual 1.2% tax on the trades as well, which they mentioned they're not going to do, then it'll go up. So maybe on the 20th, it doesn't go up exactly. It just goes down temporarily before it starts, continuing to rise. And another thing you got to also think about, like KuCoin, Mexi Global, all these other exchanges, some of them are really going to be implementing the 1.2% tax on transactions like inside like the spot trading. They're going to be putting it on those spot trades. And if they're not just going to be doing it on withdrawals and deposits, people will be pleased with those on the spot trading. So we just got to look at it from the bright side. Like either way, Luna Classic is up huge. And leading up to the 20th, we're definitely going to get a lot of volume coming in. And this is going to be pretty big for us. It's pure speculation, though. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. But Warren Buffett said it best. He said, buy the rumors, sell the news. And that's exactly what I'm about to do here. And literally, the 20th isn't that far from now. So I'm just going to wait until we get a little bit lower. And quite honestly, I don't think that we're going to get way like too lower below this area here. So the whole green area is pretty much high demand for our supply and demand. It's high demand in that whole area. But if you were to look at the 4-hour chart, it looks a little bit different. But notice how this wave right here on the oscillator, this red wave, is pretty much a selling wave. Just look at how it's curving back upwards. So it's going back to the buying pressure. And this is on the 4-hour chart. So this chart is particularly long term. But look right here, high activity expected for institutional investors. If institutional investors hop in right here at this high activity area, which is going to be, like I said, around 40 or 4050, possibly even 410. If we see it getting around there, we're going to see high buying coming in for Luna Classic. And that's exactly what I'm looking for here. I'm looking to run it up right up to here. Let's just talk some numbers here because that's really what I like to do on this channel. So let's just say you waited until about let's just say you have $10,000, right? Let's just throw numbers out there. And you waited until about this area right here. So actually we're going to have to go ahead and divide that and not multiply it. But let me just go ahead and back all this out. So yeah, let's just say you have $10,000 here and you divide that by 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 5, 0. This is really what we're looking to get in at. You'll have 24.6 million inside of Luna Classic, right? So now let's just go ahead and multiply that by our previous all-time high. If we just go up to the all-time high and then we crash again, then what you're going to end up seeing, or not even crash, but pull back. Wow, I just now clicked that. I don't know why I clicked that. All right, let's go ahead and retype this again. So 40500, you're going to get this much. And then over here, this is where we peaked before, and that'll give you 14.5K off of your 20K or off of your 10K. But also, if you did it for 20K, let's just look at what you would get then. So let's just say you had $20,000 and you went ahead and you did the same math problem here. Then you will get this. And then after you multiply it by our target price, then you're going to get somewhere around here, and that will be around 5.9. So 29.1K. You'll get $9,000 off your 20,000. And then if you want to put it on the micro scale, you can. You could say, look, I got $1,000, and more than likely you're going to get about 4 or 5, something like that, 4 or 500. So let's just go ahead and do that math for you. So 1, 2, 3, and 40500, and then go ahead and multiply your coins now by your target price, which is going to be the 5.9 for the peak that we hit. That'll be 1,400, so we will make a cool $400 off of it, which is good as well. But see, when you're trading, it's also good to only trade with the money that you're willing to lose. You don't want to trade with all of your capital. Me personally, I put it all on the line, and I do this continuously, and I've succeeded and I've failed doing this. But personally, for me, I'm a trader at heart, and I really love crypto. But also another thing, like I said, whenever the volume is low, what do the whales do? The whales buy. The institutional investors buy when volume is low because that's where they're going to maximize their profits. They're seeing that the community is holding strong. They're not going to really sell much anymore, and they're like, okay, cool. This is where we're going to buy in at because it's the lowest possible price we can get without waiting too long. So that price right now is looking like just around this time. You can actually see over here on the oscillator, you see this lightly like shaded blue line right here on the oscillator. It's not even a line, but it's a shaded area. This blue area, this is our volume gradually going down. And notice how it's almost non-existent and blending in with the red down here. And the fact that it's doing that pretty much shows you that our selling is pretty much at a plateau. It's at the bottom. It's flat right now. So if we really want to look at it at the 5-minute chart again, now this kind of changes your perspective. Now you can really see how we're supposed to blow up once we get down here to 4050. That's where our high activity is expected. That's the bottom. But notice when we hit the bottom, we don't stay there for long. We stay there for like 10 seconds, 30 seconds, maybe a minute, and then boom, almost instantly it starts to pump, kind of just like here. The second we just got to this line right here at the 41540 area, boom, immediately buying pressure. The second we got up there, boom, immediately selling pressure after we got past the 4,300. And it didn't stay there for very long. So you just want to be careful with this. You don't want to wait exactly till 40500. And like I said, it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But personally, like I said, I'm going to wait till about 4,100, right in the middle of there. And then boom, I'm going to go ahead, jump all in there and see what happens. But anyways, previously in the day, we did have a lower area that we had hit down here. So we had went all the way down to about 3,900, but it stayed there very briefly. And I wish I would have gotten at 3,900 because that would have been a nice profit gain right there. But anyways, that's all I really got for the technicals here. Now, if you want to look at some other stuff, if we continue these burns inside of Luna Classic the way we're doing this, this is going to be pretty big. So just imagine, like even looking at the low side, let's just go ahead and look at our today's volume. So 35 billion. Let's just see where we could get if we continue to burn this amount of Luna Classic. So actually, no, that's 35.9 million Luna Classic burned. So 35.9 million Luna Classic. Let's just say that we're going to continue to burn this every single day. So I'm just going to round it up because, there's too many different variables inside of that number. But let's just do it like this. And just to kind of show you again, over here, 35973, 371. Let's do this. So let's say we burnt this much Luna Classic every day for a full month. Well, for that full month, we burn 1 billion. Doesn't seem like much on the micro scale, but as we continue to increase this, as the 1.2% tax implements on the 20th, if it implements on the 20th, that's going to be really huge for us. And if you also look at it over here from this perspective, how many coins were burned, I mean, this is also a lot too. If you look at what was burned on the first, imagine if we do this same amount every day. Imagine if we do the same that was burned on the 19th every day. Imagine if we could do these massive burns every single day. I know it's not realistic to think about it like that, but still, just imagine if you could do 402 million every single day. So let's do 402 million Luna Classic burnt every single day for 30 days straight. You're going to get 12 billion burned. And if you think about that, inside of a full month, inside of a full year, you're getting 144 billion burned. So it might not look like much right now, but over time is definitely going to start adding in. And yeah, maybe it takes a year for Luna Classic to fully recover, or 2 years, but I still think that it's possible for this to recover like fully, because obviously we've recovered, but it hasn't recovered fully. So you got to think, we got to get back to where it was before, at the 69 type million market cap, 70 million market cap. So you got to wait until it can finally hit those areas. But anyways, let's talk about something else over here. We already mentioned all about the burns, but let's talk about the potential top here. They're talking about the top being at 5.9. That's kind of why I was like, maybe 5.9 if on September 20th it's a letdown and people are let down. If it's a letdown and people just start selling out, then yeah, it'll probably hit 5.9 again and peak, but it's really hard to tell. But let's see what they said. They said, despite the massive increase, Lunacy has reached two important Fibonacci retracement levels, the 4.2 and the 4.61 extension of the initial upward movement. And they said over here, this possibility is supported by the RSI. So they said, therefore, it is possible that Luna Classic will soon reach or has already reached the top. So if that is the top, remember, even with Dogecoin, I remember Dogecoin topped out twice. It hit the top twice before it actually started to, go down. And the same thing is really happening here with Luna Classic. Maybe it hits the top and then it goes back down again at 3.0. And then we have our pump after that. It could happen anyway. So you really don't want to be 100% fixated on one option. You got to look at all different options here. But yeah, I think it is plausible that we hit the 5.9 and then we go right back down again. Or maybe we get a little bit above it. But I do believe also that we will be knocking out 0 soon. I don't know when, but I think that we can knock out another 0. So 0.0.1, that could be coming very soon. And you don't even want to talk about gains when you start to look at that. Like when you start to look at that and you got big money in there, you're going to start seeing big gains. So that's just all I really got to say about that. Is like, it's pretty much like 100x right there. Boom, right out the gate, 100x if we knock out a 0 from where we're at now. Actually, it's more like a 1.2x, but who's counting? Really 1.18x if you look at the price. But we don't have to get down to specifics here. But let's just think about it. Let's do some math here. I just want to show you something. So let's just say you had $1,000, and then we did go all the way up there to the 0.001 area. So right now we're over here at about 42309, and then you can just multiply it by 0.001. Like that's $2,300 made off of $1,000. So that's $1,300 right there. Easy. And yeah, that's easy money. And then once you start playing with like really big money, then you got to look at it from a different perspective. Now you're going from $10,000 to $23,000. So that's the significance here with Luna Classic. It's huge significance. Honestly, I would have made so much money. I would probably, actually, I did the math. If I would have bought when I was watching this YouTube channel where he shouted it out, he was like, look, it was August 21st and he made this video. He's like, Luna Classic is going to make millionaires. And I wish I had the link to it. But yeah, he was like, Luna Classic is going to make millionaires. It was on August 21st. And if I would have put my money in over there, then I would actually have around, I think it was 172,000 I would have if I sold it at the peak. That was just crazy looking at it like that from that perspective. If I just take everything and all in, and then like I would just be in a whole different position. And now I'm looking at it from that perspective. But see, you don't want a FOMO like that. That's fear of missing out. That's straight FOMO. And I didn't just throw my money in just because of that. So you do not want to FOMO in things. You do not want to go off of FUD either, which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So never go in on FOMO or FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Really, what you want to have is a leveled mind. So when you're inside of these different cryptos, like let's just say you have $1,000 and that's all you have to your name. Well, you don't want to throw your full thousand in it. You're going to be trading emotionally, because if you lose that, you're pretty much going to be screwed. Let's just say you take $100 out of that thousand. Now you're trading with that. And yeah, making $153 profit off of $100 is nothing, but still, like, going from 100 to 253 is still nice. Now, let's just think about it though. Let's say you have 10,000. Well, then you could probably play with $1,000 without feeling too sad. Let's say you have 20,000. Then you could probably play with 2,000 without feeling too sad if it goes down, because you still have another 18,000. That's not what I do, but that is the safest way to do it. Like, if I have $2,000, I'm playing with $2,000. If I have $10,000, I'm playing with $10,000. If I have 100,000, I'm playing with it, and that's just how I am. Now, to be completely honest, if I did have 100,000 or a million, then I'd only be playing with, more realistically, like 20K. I'm going to be realistic here. But if I got 20K, like, I've seen 20K multiple times. So if I got 20K, I'm playing with the full 20K, because I know how it feels to have 20K, and I know it just doesn't feel like how I know it would feel if I had 100, if I had a million. So that's what you start seeing when you start making money in crypto. You start noticing, like, it's really no different from having 20,000 to $2,000, because ultimately you still got to work for your money. And I'm not saying you don't got to work for your money if you hit 100K, because look, if you hit 100K, you're trading off that 100K and you're living off that money. You're not working a job. You're just trading and making money off your trades. And this is particularly how I see it. If I have a million, I'm not working a job. My money is working for me. And that's exactly what I'm trying to say here. So if you want to be one of these people who does trading for a living, you don't necessarily want to, be all out on the risk. You want to be all in on risk if this is what you want to do for a living. So you just got to look at it from that perspective. But most people aren't trying to do this for a living. You're just trying to get in, get out. I do this for a living, so I'm all in. So when you see YouTubers saying, I'm all in, you should be all in on this, don't be scared, just know they're coming from a perspective where they're doing this for a living. So whether it goes up or down, this is what they do for a living. So it doesn't matter. They're not emotional about it. So you just have to look at it from that perspective. I wouldn't say go throw all your money in on Luna Classic. It's not a smart idea. But if you got $1,000, $100 ain't gonna hurt you. But anyways, this is pretty much all I got. Definitely hit the like button and subscribe. Actually, before we end this, I want to show the circulating supply. So look at how much we've ended the circulating supply, from 6.589 trillion to 5.957 trillion. So this is huge, because if Luna Classic were to hit $1, which is definitely impossible at the circulating supply we're at now at 5.9, but maybe if we burn 99%, 98%, 90%, then yeah, we could definitely see $1. But we got to burn a lot to get to $1, which is definitely possible, because with the rate that the burns are going, it could definitely end up there. Like, we literally burned like a whole trillion within, I don't even know how long, but still a whole trillion was burned within like not even a full month. So if you think about this, yeah, it's definitely possible. A lot of people, I was saying they're crazy, but I don't think they're crazy about it now. I don't think they're crazy now. It could definitely do $1. It was at $1 before, and if all these coins get burned, it could definitely get there again. But we got to see that 90% get burned. But let's talk about this, because right now we're at 5.9 trillion burned. So if we keep moving at this pace, I mean, at first it was huge because the volume was so huge, but now you see the volume slowing down. But as we go into this next week and we're leading up to the 20th, that volume is going to increase. So you're probably going to see this go from 5.9 trillion down to 4.9 trillion. And then once we finally I won't say 4.9, maybe like 5 trillion, like flat. But anyways, now when you also see the burn coming for the September 20th on the 1.2% burn transactions, I'm mixing up all my words. But yeah, the 1.2% burns that are going to be implemented on chain, when you think about that, that's going to be huge as well. So after the 20th, if we already have 5 trillion after we go from now to the 20th off our FOMO hype and people FOMO into it and throw all their money into it, now you're going to start seeing huge burns. It's going to go down to like 5 trillion. Imagine then once the 20th happens and the 1.2% burn is implemented, now imagine that 20xing. Just start imagining that, like 4.5 now after like 10 days, and then maybe like 4 after another month or so, and then you got 4 trillion circulating. So now we need a lot less to get there. And if you really want to know how this works, let's just say it like this. So let's just say you take this Luna Classic here. take all this Luna Classic, and this is the whole supply that we have totally. This is the total supply. Let's just say you take your total supply and you multiply it by 0.001. Well, at 0.001, our market cap will theoretically be 6.5 trillion or billion here. So that would be 6,589,937,332 and 96 cents. That's how much our market cap would be. But after the 20th happens, after we continue to get these burns, let's just hypothetically say our market cap is now at 1 trillion. So now let's take our same 1 trillion and let's do the same problem here. So now million, billion, trillion, and then multiplying that by the target supply. Now we only need 1 billion in circulating, or we only need 1 billion in market cap rather than 6.9 billion in market cap or 6.5 billion in market cap. So we only need our 1 billion market cap now in order to get 0.001 instead of having to get to this huge market cap of 65 or 6.5 billion. But yeah, this is definitely possible. And if you think about it, I just want to show something else. I know I'm putting a lot of stuff down here. So let's do this math again. So let's go ahead and take it and multiply it by that, and then go ahead and multiply it by 0.001. So look, million, billion, 6.5 billion. So we're probably about to hit this area soon, because if you go over here, and actually it probably shows it on the Lunacy Penguin. And also, if you want to see this, it's called lunacypenguins.com. Don't go to no scam sites. But anyways, let's just go over here and click on Luna Classic, rank 30 or no 29 now. So yeah, they've been increasing. But looking over here at the market cap, we're only at 2.9 billion. So we're almost at that level. But this is just to kind of put things in perspective. So really, let's talk about 1 cent, because 1 cent is really what you want to look at if you're really long term on Luna Classic. So let's just say Luna Classic gets to 1 cent, and let's just take our current circulating supply now, and let's multiply this by 1 cent. That would bring us to a 65.8 billion market cap, which Luna Classic or which the regular Luna has already done. And then when they rebrand it to Luna Classic, because of the whole destruction of Luna, everything that happened, the crackdown, and then now look at this, 65.8 billion. We could get back up there, but that's without 80 burns. That'd be 65.8 billion, and it'd be at 1 cent. But see, let's say we burn so much Luna Classic by then, and let's just say the same scenario here. Let's say now we got 1 trillion. So let's take that 1 trillion and let's do the same thing. So this is billion, and then one more will be trillion. Million, billion, trillion, multiply that by 1 cent. Now we only need a 10 billion market cap, which is way more achievable. Shiba Inu at the moment is about 9 billion in market cap, or I think Doge is like 9 billion. So yeah, Doge is actually at 8.4 billion. And I know Luna Classic has a bigger community than Doge. Let's be honest, like Luna is a bigger ecosystem because of where they came from. And that's exactly why it came to stardom so quickly after rebranding. But anyways, let's keep talking about this, because this is very huge. This is very significant for everyone. Let's think about this from this perspective now. So let's say we have less than a trillion. Let's say we get it all the way. They're really trying to get it down to like 500 million. Let's be honest, or like 500 billion. They're trying to do something like that. But let's say it goes all the way down to 500 billion. This would be after a year, 2 years, something like that. But this would be after a while, because the burns start to slow down as the circulating supply goes down, because less people have the coins to sell at that point. But let's just say it gets down to 500 billion. Really, I can tell you right now, it's going to be like 5 billion market cap or something like that. All right, let's just go ahead and do the math here. But let's go ahead and multiply that by 1 cent. And yeah, I was right. So yeah, 5 billion. So yeah, this just really puts things into perspective, and you just got to take it for what it is. So this is just what it is. But yeah, there's huge potential here with Luna Classic. But anyways, this is all I got for you all today. I know it's starting to get long with this video, but hey, I just wanted to drop a lot of knowledge in here. I was just going to do the technicals, but then I was like, you know what? People got to know about the burns. People got to know about how it works and the potential with the burns. So anyways, this is all I got for you all today. Definitely hit that like button and subscribe. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. And also, if you want to trade Luna Classic, definitely check out the link in the description for MaxC Global, one of the cheapest fees out there. I use it personally for myself for Luna Classic. And as always, I'll be back with another video.